Oh boy, it's getting spicy in Edmonton. So the Oilers have the New York Rangers later today. As we had spoken about in the last video, super important game for New York. They're in that wild card race. Montreal is coming up from behind with all their might, and New York needs points. Plain and simple. The Oilers will try to prevent that from happening, but the Oilers are going through their own battles too. Because 2 days ago, the Oilers ended up defeating the New York Islanders in overtime 2-1. Draisaitl had both of the goals, Calvin Pickard had a game-winning assist in the extra frame, and he also had a .960 save percentage in the game. So, ultimately, Cal Pickard was one of the most important players in defeating the Isles Friday night. And the reason we are talking about Edmonton in this video is because of the subtle shade that Leon may have thrown after this game concluded. This show is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Go out there, check out that first link in the description to save some money on your VPN, get some free months, and support this YouTube channel in the process. When you think about the Edmonton Oilers and what it is they've been building the past few weeks, some folks would go out there and say that the team has started to struggle quite a bit. Starting out the year, coming off of a Stanley Cup final defeat, a lot of folks said that Edmonton would be the team to beat in the Western Conference. Well, they've gone 4-6-0 in their last 10, and they have dipped to third place in the Pacific Division. They've got 80 points in 66 games played. They're not going to fall out of the top 3 of the Pacific. They're going to probably play LA in the first round of this year's playoffs. Calgary and Vancouver are just too far behind, but the Oilers have been struggling a bit as of late, and you can definitely say that's true out of some of the top guys on the team. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins looks more like a passenger this year than he has ever looked. Connor McDavid is not producing as much as he has in the past, although he is still producing a lot. He's at 85 points in 60 games right now, on pace for 107, which is fine. You know, I'd take a 100-point player on my team any day. But the fact that he had 132 last year, and 153 the year before that, and 123 the year before that, Connor McDavid is not producing as much as he has been in the previous sample he has given. Leon Draisaitl has taken the honors of being the most productive Edmonton Oiler this year. He has been dominant, more so of a McDavid fashion than we have seen McDavid do in the past. Draisaitl already has 100 points this season. He's on pace for 124, which would be 4 off of his own career high. But I think the biggest area where the Oilers have struggled has been in net. Let's take a look at this. So Stuart Skinner, in the 2024-2025 season, has an .896 save percentage in 44 games played. He's 22-17-4, which is just above 500, barely. And in his last 9 games, Stuart Skinner posted up a .750 against Colorado, an .839 against Philadelphia, an .889 against Tampa Bay, an .889 again against Florida. The same statistical breakdown, 36 shots against and 32 saves, 4 goals against. He had an .875 against the Anaheim Ducks, a .926 against Montreal, where they won. Great to see that out of Stu Skinner. An .840 over the Dallas Stars, an .870 over the Sabres, and then an .864 against the New Jersey Devils. Constant 700s, 800s on the board. What the hell is going on with Stuart Skinner and his goaltending? You had this tweet posted the other day by Nick5523-4, bearing an insane end to the game where we allow like 1 million shots without allowing a goal. Stu Skinner will be under 900 for the 8th time in 11 games since February 1st. The Oilers are not scoring close to enough, but this is Jack Campbell level bad. And then Nick goes out there and backs up the numbers here by posting this. Here are Jack Campbell's 10-game stretches with the Oilers. Games 1-10, he had an .873, 11-20, an .886, 21-30, he had an .880, and then in 31-40, he had an .892. Stuart Skinner in the last 10 games has had an .873. This is on par with Jack Campbell's worst stretch as an Edmonton Oiler. Yes, the Oilers are not scoring enough, but the fact that Bowman and Jackson thought this was okay is sickening. Cal Pickard, by the way, has had a pretty reasonable run himself. I mean, he hasn't necessarily been the best in terms of some of the games he has played. That .636 save percentage game against Anaheim comes to mind as being particularly bad, but he had a .960 against the Islanders, a .972 against the Carolina Hurricanes, a .906 versus the Hawks, a .929 against the Kraken, a .923 against the Canucks, a .912 against Minnesota. Cal Pickard has been pretty good. Maybe not too consistent, but he's looking good. And now, it's gotten so bad that Leon Draisaitl went out there and maybe, just maybe, threw some pretty big shade Stuart Skinner's way. David Staples posted this video after the overtime goal. Cal Pickard's pass kicked off the overtime goal rush, which led to Draisaitl getting his second of the night. Draisaitl is talking to the microphone here. It almost sounds like he's gonna cry. Like, he is emotional, he cares, and he's talking about how Cal Pickard is this saving grace that allowed Edmonton to take the win, and he gives a lot of praise to Cal Pickard. Kevin McCurdy went out there and said this: "Holy crap, Leon sounds like he's barely holding it together here. I think you might want to watch this and appreciate the human side of this video and this game. I was hard on the guys last night, but they gutted it out, and with a cherry on top from Cal Pickard." Draisaitl also said this: that Cal Pickard is a heart and soul of this Edmonton Oilers team. "I think you could see we truly love playing for him," Draisaitl said on Cal Pickard after Friday's victory. All of these comments are being interpreted by Oilers fans as shots at Stu Skinner. And I'm not going to go out there and say that it's necessarily that, but with this main narrative putting itself in the forefront, Stuart Skinner has been bad, Cal Pickard has been good, and Leon Draisaitl saying, hey, Pickard's a heart and soul guy on this team. He gives us life. We couldn't have done it without him. He's the only reason we won today. We love playing for this guy. I mean, that's pretty obvious. And the thing is, Leon Draisaitl is not ever subtle. Like, he's very blunt in the way he delivers his ideas and the way he's thinking about things. So for Stu Skinner to be on the other side where he's not getting these compliments, he's not getting players saying, yeah, we love playing for this guy, he's the reason we won, he's a heart and soul player on our team. Nobody's saying that about Stu Skinner. The guy's playing Jack Campbell level bad hockey the past 10 games or so. The Oilers didn't want to upgrade in net because they thought that Stu Skinner was going to be good enough. Sure, he was good enough to help the team make the Stanley Cup Finals, but when the Oilers score as much as the Oilers do in the playoffs, then okay, you can afford to have subpar to bad goaltending. They still made it to Game 7 in the Finals after all, and Stu Skinner only let in 2 goals in that final game. But still, this stretch right here has been some of the worst hockey we have seen out of Edmonton Oilers defenders and goaltending, and Stu Skinner is not doing his part in backing that up and making it any better. Cal Pickard did. So heading into today's contest against the New York Rangers, we'll see what happens, you know? The Rangers are battling for a playoff spot, as we had said, and the Oilers will be going with Stu Skinner, so we'll see if he's able to redeem himself here. But for now, after Friday's game against the Islanders, it does seem like Leon Draisaitl had some pretty subtle shade to throw his starting netminder's way. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about how poorly Stu Skinner has been playing as of late, and whether or not you see Leon Draisaitl's comments and his heavy praise towards Pickard as some sort of a shot against Stu Skinner. Hey, we finally have a guy whom we can rely on and we can play for in net. This guy, Cal Pickard, is so great, and he was so fantastic, and Draisaitl's getting emotional about it, talking about it in the media, that folks are perceiving it as shade on Stu. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.